To adjust the main relief valve pressure, you must first measure the relief pressure. Before measuring the pressure, the machine must be operating normally. The pressure sensor especially must be working normally to measure the pressure properly. If there is no separate tool for checking pressure, check whether there is any pressure while the key is on, as well as whether there is a difference in the front and rear pressure. Push the escape button on the monitor to go to the pressure display screen. Then, switch to RPM max, power mode. Make the main relief valve open with a maneuver such as a boom-up maneuver, which uses hydraulic oil discharged from the front pump. The relief pressure is 362 bar. This is around 30 bar higher than Doosan's standard of 330 bar.
Now, use boost up and check whether the main relief valve increased at the same time as the pressure was raised. The boost up function increases the power while the relief pressure remains steady.
We confirm that when the boost up pressure is the same as the currently set main relief pressure. Adjusting the main relief pressure inevitably entails leaking hydraulic oil, so be sure to prevent contamination while adjusting the pressure. Prepare any tools required for the adjustment, as well as paper towel and an oil sump to prevent contamination, and bring them over to the machine. First, when adjusting the valve for either the main relief pressure or
the boost up pressure,
be sure to start by loosening the pilot hose on the back of the valve. This is because the pilot hose on the back also rotates when the valve is adjusted. Loosen the hose sufficiently without completely removing it. To make this easier to understand, we removed the load check valve in advance and loosened the lock nuts on the valve. If the front part of the valve is turned counterclockwise without loosening the two lock nuts, the whole component moves altogether. When removing the valve to disassemble and inspect or replace it, copy what is shown on the screen. Turning it clockwise tightens it.
To adjust the boost up pressure, loosen the lock nuts first. Adjust the boost up pressure. Counterclockwise reduces pressure while clockwise increases pressure. When the boost up pressure is adjusted, the main relief pressure at the back also increases or decreases. When the boost up pressure is high, 350 bar, turn it counterclockwise to reduce the pressure as shown on the screen. Once the boost up pressure has been adjusted, tighten the lock nuts again. To increase the boost up pressure, loosen the lock nut again. Turn the boost up pressure valve clockwise to increase the pressure. If you wish to reduce the pressure in the main relief valve, set the boost up pressure.
Then, turn the lock nuts counterclockwise to loosen them. Turn the lock nuts on the main relief valve counterclockwise to reduce the pressure. Tighten the lock nuts on the main relief valve in the clockwise direction. To increase the main relief pressure, loosen the lock nuts on the valve in the counterclockwise direction. Turn the main relief pressure valve clockwise to increase the pressure. Tighten the lock nuts on the main relief pressure valve. In summary, to adjust the main relief pressure and
boost up pressure,
set the engine to its maximum RPM. After performing a boom-up maneuver to get the cylinder into the full stroke position, once the main relief pressure is formed, push the boost up button and measure the boost up pressure. Then, loosen the pilot hose on the back of the main relief valve and perform the adjustment. Let us take a look at the order of adjustments in 3 examples.
In this case, the most important part is the pressure difference between the boost up pressure and the main relief pressure. If there is a difference of around 20 bar, 350 to 330, from the normal pressure value, raising only the boost up pressure valve shown with an arrow on the screen. If the main relief pressure is lower than normal and the boost up pressure is normal, adjust only the relief valve on the back. This case is a bit complicated. If the boost up pressure is low, The pressure cannot be checked once the main relief is performed. The reason for lowering it significantly is because we do not know how much lower the boost-up pressure is than the relief pressure. After lowering the pressure, the boost-up pressure can be checked in the machine since the main relief pressure is lower than the boost-up pressure. Adjust the boost-up pressure valve. When it increases, the main relief pressure increases along with it. Check and readjust the main relief pressure in the vehicle which increased when the boost-up pressure valve was raised. After this step is complete, tighten the pilot hose, the supply line for boost-up pressure, and double-check for any leaks.
When this is complete, start the engine, set it to power mode max RPM, and try relieving and raising the pressure.
According to Deuxan standards, the relief pressure should be 330 plus or minus 15 bar while the boost-up pressure should be 350 plus or minus 15.